world, prepare yourselves for shocks and scares, as we're here with the fantastic concluding chapter of the Caustic treatment storyline, brought to life with gorgeous stylization, courtesy of the brilliantly talented Py-Bun. This is Everyone Hurts Sometimes. And even as we get started, I love this sort of distended, top-heavy character style that Py-Bun has gone with. Really adds to the sort of surreal vibe of this piece, which is only augmented by using the gas to sort of form the panels of the comic itself. I love how this piece is designed on a structural level. This is fantastic. And that's before we even get into the story side of things. Damn it! Tell me how to turn off the gas. I would expedite your retreat, Miss Paquette. Not when so many depend on me stopping you. They suffer inconsequential lives of meaningless noise. In death, I gift them purpose. And look at this, just this almost like monstrous, angular, sort of shadowy version of Caustic, really bringing almost that sort of horror vibe into things here. Oh, nom de Dieu! This isn't about humanity's suffering, it's about yours. It's about ours. You're suffering because you've pushed me away, because you're afraid when the end comes, you'll be alone. But you're not alone. I love this gooby little Wattson here. Natalie, turn back. Your pain, ours. We can't take it out on others, Doctor. And honestly, you think you're the only one suffering? Please, leave me. Jamais. Again, how this overly distended, cartoony style is actually managing to be used to convey real effort and sort of mature emotion here, I think is an incredible use of this sort of overly stylized format. It really speaks to me to the talent of Py-Bun that they've been able to make the art style almost childish and abstract in a way, but still able to convey these much more mature, serious, emotive scenes. That's some impressive shit right there. And it only gets more extreme. Like, using this overly stylized format allows you to really get across some of the intense emotion of this. This is goddamn brilliant. And even there, like, just the motion and the slap of the button, how it all works to convey this extreme situation we're in. Miss Paquette! She's finally gotten to him. That's how extreme this situation is, that Wattson has finally been able to break through to Caustic. Something that we've been sort of hoping was coming this whole season, right? And immediately, again, this sort of almost like cryptid, like unknowable monster in the shadows with the green glowing eyes, like how very Caustic this is. Like, oh, the surreal art style super works here, and especially in juxtaposition with the real man himself. Again, we've got this overly almost like balloon-like character design that feels really cartoony, but then it also adds to this sort of hulking beast of a man that he is, that all covered up and trapped in his coveralls and suffocated by his own actions. He finally takes off the mask. Like, this is a brilliant set of panels right here. Not you. I never meant this for you. Doctor, I think it's time you came to your senses. Ah, the color change and everything, just the artwork is so brilliant in this chapter. And I love how this was built up to. I look forward to you earning my trust again. In this, you don't get a choice. Wattson going hard. Like, not only has she finally, like, broken through the mask, pushed through the fog, right, and shown him what he's actually doing, shown him the consequences of his actions, but she's not just compassionate, she's smart, man. She's hard as nails. She knows what needs to be done. She had to trick Caustic by putting herself at risk, because evidently she kind of knew that was the only thing that would bring him round. That's the only way she's going to get through to this guy. But now she's actually changing up the entire power dynamic. No, you have to earn my trust again. For you to resolve your issues, and for me to resolve mine. Wattson has shown so much sort of maturity and character growth in this. And we'll see that Caustic appreciates it right about now. As we cut to later on, if the Syndicate finds out what nearly happened to Solace City, well, you've heard what they've planned for Mad Maggie. Uh-oh, some very creative punishments. Makes me wonder if they're gonna throw her in the games if they bring down Mad Maggie's attacks on the Syndicate. You think they wouldn't do the same to you? Okay, so it's probably not being thrown in the games. There's something even worse to be done there. Okay, so setting up another further storyline from this comic. Awesome future planning. You think they wouldn't do the same to you? I won't say anything, of course, because from now on, Doctor, you play by my rules. Again, this huge change in the power dynamic that she is owning in this situation. This isn't like her usual tactic. This is not what she'd usually do here. But she's been prepared to go the extra mile. The ends theoretically hugely justify the means here. You will be a better man, whether you want it or not. Callous, manipulative, logical. Miss Paquette, it almost makes me proud. See? She's actually dealing with him in a way that he can respect. Not only has he been shown like the consequences of his actions in a way that he will care about, which, again, smart move, Wattson. She's now also using the situation and her close ties to the Syndicate to keep him in line. It's a shame, but he needs to be kept in line. But now that she has, now we have an understanding. Is there anything you want to tell me? Apologies are for children. I may have miscalculated. I'm not talking about Solace City. Your coffin. Your desperate ambition. You owe me the truth. No. You shouldn't waste your time worrying about this old fool. But I do, Papa. I do. Goddamn, what a chapter, man. Like, I've gushed enough about the artwork, but how they've managed to resolve this storyline, yeah, that's pretty damn impactful, man. We've had an entire change of power dynamic, showing the actual maturity of Wattson and what lengths she's willing to go to achieve what she sees and what we can all probably agree on is the greater good. But we've also now been pretty much determinately given the truth that will set us free, that Caustic's desperate ambition has something much more relatable and understandable behind it. That's what I've been speculating for a while, but Wattson here is bearing it out for all of us to see. Maybe she shouldn't waste her time worrying about this old fool, and hey, maybe she's projecting a little bit too much of her own loss here? But hey, if this could ultimately give her some kind of closure about what really happened to her dad and what she may have had to go through to save him in the first place, and whether that would have been worth it compared to what, Caustic may have to do to save himself, save others. Is it not just him that has been lost to this mysterious disease? Like, is that a reason why his family has been so fractured back in the past? Why his family's farm got foreclosed? Why he is so desperate to find out how to explore his toxin and what death can offer him from that? Like, is it just autopsies that he needs? If his dad died of this same disease, which split the family, farm foreclosure, etc., and he knows that his mother is slowly dying of perhaps like a pesticide infection, something caused by Humbert labs, which would make his burning of the labs feel a lot more justified right about now, do you know? If there is an element of that to it, then perhaps we have even further evidence of part of one of my older theories that Caustic has been subjecting himself to this illness to try and either find a cure within himself, or it's a degenerative disease that he is trying to make regenerative, or it is just some removed illness that he's trying to find a cure for. Caustic has become far more sympathetic through these last two chapters than probably a lot of people ever thought he would become. And Wattson has become far more hardened and emotionally stable on the surface than we may have expected from the last few seasons as well. You can really see that her dealing with crypto and accepting the truth, what it's done for her, and how she's actually being able to really grow and mature in this harsh environment that we're all in, right? Maybe she shouldn't waste her time, but maybe time spent worrying about Caustic isn't wasted. Finally, there's an avenue here into understanding that this guy is far more of a human being than he might show on the surface. And I, for one, think that's an incredibly worthy development for this Caustic treatment side story that is also setting us up with a bunch of avenues to progress it into the future as well. Classic Apex Legends, I love what you guys are doing. Keep up the fantastic effort. And definitely keep coming back to the community artists. These last 2 chapters have truly shown the strength of how far experimentation can take you. I don't think you're going to see another chapter look like this one, because they've been able to go to such a variety of different artists to really get their sort of personal take on this kind of story. Py-Bun personally was the absolute perfect choice to pull off this chapter, and they did so with absolute gusto. A huge congratulations to them, and to the writer of this side story, and apparently quite a lot of Season 8, Sam Gill of the Montreal team. But with that, that's enough out of me for today. I really hope you enjoyed this season-long storyline featuring Wattson and Caustic, as I'm super intrigued about where this is going to lead us into the future. So, thank you for staying with me, friends. I've been Euclidean Vision, the emotional support. Take care of yourselves out there, teammates, and may the glorious light of Best Girl shine within you. Bye-bye.